and welcome back. I'm Shawn with Manley Made Minute, and today we're going Valentine's. We're heading down that direction. It's coming fast and furious. So, as promised several videos ago, one of my first mixed media videos, we're getting up more mixed media. We're going to a tag, but I've got a really special surprise, and it's taken me a while to figure out what to do and how to do this. So we're just going to go into it and get started because I just can't wait to show you the little special surprise for these tags of what I want to do. Before we head down to my down camera, I just want to make sure that you hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and comment. Hopefully these are special enough that you can comment and tell me what you think. You can also find me on Instagram at Manley Made Minute and follow me there. Lots of cards and hops and things that I post on there. So let's head down. Let me show you the little surprise that I have for you today. Alright, so we've all seen my scrap bucket, right? I do my scrappy shorts. I pull all my scraps out of here. This is one of I got 4 more in my drawer. But these are the scraps from cards that I make and the leftovers. My strips and my designer series papers and colored papers are down below for those scraps. In the bottom of this, I've been holding a secret, and every time I use it, I try not to show it because I've been waiting to pull them out and do this video of after what I figured out what I'm going to do. So, I've already pulled them out. They were at the bottom of this. Let me just show you what I have. These are really, truly something special. These are vintage Valentine's cards. These were gifted to me by a friend who was going to throw them away. And of course I'm like, no you're not. So I have them in my possession for quite some time. It's taken me a while to figure out what to do with them because I don't have the heart to ruin them. So I want to show you. I'm going to flip through these just to show you what's in this pile and kind of discuss my thought process on these. So as I'm flipping through these, we'll just chat. But if you check these out, these were actually gifted to somebody. They're real. They were not store-bought. They are aged naturally. All these are real. They actually were given to somebody. The to and from is on the backs and insides of these that they've been handwritten on. So these were given to me by a friend whose dad had passed away. And we all know that when a family member passes away and there's nobody left, we've got to, like you can see, it's been handwritten on, right? All this is natural aging. Like you can't buy these anymore. These were in a shoebox in her dad's closet, and she texted me, sent me a picture, hey, do you want these for your cards? Asked them what they were. She tells me, and I'm like, you can't, you need to keep those. Those are precious. And she's like, no, otherwise I'm going to throw them away. So of course I'm like, I'll take them. And to me, there's a story here, right? There's somebody's handwritten these to somebody, they've given to a loved one, to somebody they liked, they loved, a family, whatever. And it's kind of like, I just did a live here last Thursday. The replay is up on my channel. I'll put the link to it here. Look at this one. To my Valentine, and it's interactive. Look at the eyes. Like, seriously can't ruin this, right? Like, it's aged on the back. So, with her Queen's paper that I did on Thursday, and I'm just going to keep flipping through these so you guys can see these. Bitty Petty designed that paper. And on those Queens, it's all female, very strong female images, beautiful, gorgeous women. There's a story behind those women, right? And that's how I did the card on Thursday night. The elements I put on there, this little letter from the Queen, and there's a story behind those Queens. And that's the way I feel about these, and I just don't have the heart to rip them and distress them and glue them. And this one has a little easel in the back. Look at this. Little easel, and it can stand up, and it's got a little go card on it. This one's got some little paper kind of attached to it. This one, oh my, look at this one. You move this back and forth, and there's a lady behind the picture frame. Okay, they just don't make these anymore. So I wanted to use these in some sort of mixed media. Look at that one. Is that not like this is super fragile, right? I can't ruin this. So I wanted to make some mixed media with these, and I've been holding them for a while. And we're going to make some tags. However, we're going to make these the feature of the tags. So my purpose here is not to distress these, not to ink these, not to cut them up. Keep them as is. I'm going to try to figure out if we can use like some little picture corners like these to attach them with, so I'm not gluing them and ruining them. So if someone wants to gently take them off and read them on the back and things, they can. There's just a good pile of these. And we're going to make the background the background. Then I'm going to add the elements. I'm probably not going to distress all the elements so that I can get what I'm putting on this tag to pop off. And I'll show you, here's an example. I had this as a scrap in my bucket. I've watercolored it. It was just like this as a scrap. I cut it out and use it for the panel for something else. I've watercolored that. I'm probably going to lightly distress ink this, but I'm going to put some elements on these tags to feature around these, right? Look at this little football guy. So this is what we're going for. We're going to make several tags out of these over the next week or so. And then I'm also going to make some cards with these and feature these on some cards. But again, same concept. I want them probably removable. I don't want to ruin them because there's too much meaning behind these. And I think they're worth treasuring and keeping. So if you disagree and say rip them, throw them on, you know, they're long gone, throw me a comment. If you agree, throw me a comment and agree with me, please, because I'm more than willing to do something different. And I might take one or two, like this one here was actually cut out handmade, right? Looks like maybe a little kid or something, and ruin some of them, but not all of them. They're too precious. So we're gonna make some tags. I have pre-prepped a few things just for sake of drying and making this work. So we're going to do some ink smushing. We're going to add some textured things. I have gone out and just purchased a few extra things from my local craft store for these now that I was ready to do this. So I've got some burlap. I pulled some stuff from my stash, like this webbing. I think will look cute because of the shine and shimmer on it. These may not be used today, but there are some hearts in there, so I might pull some hearts. Twine. This is a little thing of vellum. I'm probably not going to use this today, but possibly in some future cards. Probably maybe in a Kendra's card challenge by chance. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so let's just see what we come up with. I have an idea. Let's just see if it works today. I'm gonna take my face off camera. This is what I pre-prepped. So I've got these manila and tags. I bought them in bulk because I just don't know what direction I want to go with this yet. I didn't want to commit a ton of money. So they are just bulk, cheaper manila envelopes. But what I have done is I have gessoed the one side. Gesso, if you are not familiar, is a priming medium for watercoloring for paper, right? So it goes on clear, it dries clear. You can get black, you can get white. There's different colors too you can get. I put clear. If you've ever taken a thin layer of toothpaste and put it on something and it gets a little chalky feeling, that's what gesso feels like. It's that tooth. It gives the paper tooth to hold and take what you're going to put on it. Whatever medium you're going to put on it, whether it be watercolor, paint, spray, whatever you're going to put on it. I did that because these are not watercolor papers. Okay. Now, I've pre-prepped it with a stencil. I have a heart stencil. Let me just zoom in here so we can kind of get a better look here. So I've taken a stencil and I've taken distressed texture paste. Okay, so this is my stencil. I just kept it off to the side here. So this is my stencil. I laid it across like so, and I just smeared right down the center going this way and left these textured hearts. Okay, then I've taken the gesso, just re-gessoed this corner. I took a piece of scrap tissue paper. This came in a gift bag. Actually, this came in an order from, I can't remember where that sticker's from. One of my recent orders, actually. Crumpled it up. Then I took and pushed it into the gesso like so, and then re-wet the top of it using it as my glue medium, but made sure I kind of scrunched it. I want to keep this texture. Okay, I have let it dry, so it's nice and dry. This kind of crunchy heart up here. Right, now we're going to add everything else to this. We're going to ink smush and add my elements and then put our stuff on top. Okay, so this is going to serve as my background. Let's, first thing we need to do is I just want to gently tear the edges of my tissue paper. Okay, and I might leave some hanging off the edge actually. So that's why I'm starting here first. I'm going to tear this piece off and tear that piece off. Now what I want to do is I just want to tear, and I'm going to leave some hanging off the edge. I just want this as textured as possible because the background needs to fill my simple stuff I'm going to lay on top so I don't ruin them, remember. Okay, so there's that. Now let's just go ink smush. Let's have fun. Let's get dirty. So I'm mixing a little oxide and ink. I know oxide kind of takes over from experience. I'm just getting used to this, right? So I'm going to start with my ink because I don't have the color I want in the oxide. So I'm going to start with this one. And this is Peacock Feathers Distress Ink. I'm going to do this one first. Okay, so I'm going to spray this down until I get a nice little bead. Now I'm going to just lightly mist this and not get it soaked. And I'm going to do lots of probably drying in between here. Okay. And I'm loving that color. Now I'm going to dry. This is probably going to be a little bit more drying in between because I don't want this, especially this color. I don't want to lose it too much as I put my oxides over it. Now I use the texture paste. A couple things. I've invested in a couple other ones. So this is the Distress Texture Paste. This is the Tim Holtz. This is the Opaque. Opaque, when you put it down, you can already see it, takes the color. Think of it as a porous medium. Translucent will repel it. I haven't tried translucent yet because I wanted to get one that repelled. Should repel it slightly where it's not going to take that color as much. So for example, if I was to ink this, remember it's water soluble, water reactive, put that over the top after it dries, it's still going to react it because it's a wet medium and it probably will soak up some of that color. If I dry this back and then put translucent on it, that translucent's not going to take on that color as much. Alright, I've got some of this color left. I'm going to put a good amount of this on because I want this as a good background. I want to color that, there we go, that tissue. Okay. Alright. I have a little bit left. I had prepped 2 of these tags. The other one's not quite dry, but I'm going to pick up the rest of this on the one corner that is dry. Okay. Here's my one I prepped. This just isn't dry over here. So I'm just going to pick up the rest of this color. Waste not, want not. Okay. And now we'll just wipe this off. And now I'm going to go lighter to dark. So now I'm going to get my Peach Flamingo. I'm trying to keep a nice, softer, Valentine's-y kind of feel in there. And I'm going to throw the little prize ribbon down here. Okay, a little bit of blue for because I'm putting that little boy on there. And now I'm just going to pick up my pinks, like so, and dry these in between. Nice, soft kind of color. And we'll get the browns and stuff in there too. Might paint on some browns and some orangey kind of stuff for some rust around these elements as well. I might actually get out some sprays, we'll see. Just see how this kind of layers up is the goal here. Just dry that back some. And I'm just doing this a little more frequent just because my playing with these has gotten somewhat muddy in the past. So I'm just trying to prevent this from going too muddy on me. And I'm going to get out some Distress spray. Because I want that pink to be a little brighter. And I think I've got Picked Raspberry as my spray stain. I do. So this is the Picked Raspberry. I just want to get this a little more intense. I'm going to just wet that down just a little bit. There we go. I just wanted that. Yep. That's like right in the sweet spot, right? So I'm also learning with these the sweet spot. It's so easy to start, getting crazy and fun, but pull it back and dry before you get too much in there, and it starts turning to mud. And I'm just going to pull this other one in here and pull up some of this pink since it's there. Even though this is wet. Yeah, I just don't want to waste that. Okay, I'm going to grab a little scratch piece. I'm going to grab some scraps here. to pick up some of this to use later, for something later. Okay. Alright, let me just, I think I might switch here to some stains. I'm liking this brighterness of this. So let's pull out one little bit of blue in there. I'm going to get the Salty Ocean. And I'm going to pull in my, where did she go? I had Scorched Timber. Yeah, Scorched Timber. So Salty Ocean for a little more layer of some blue. And then we're going to go a little Scorched Timber up in here. I'm going to do these at the same time. And you can see as I spray that, it moves a little bit, right? It's water reactive. Yeah, there we go. I want this to move. There we go. Just pulse some of this up a little bit. I get a little impatient, and this is one medium where I'm learning patience can be my friend. Okay, we're going to dry this back right as it is. I'm going to layer just a little bit more in there. But I want to dry this back some. Just use a paper towel to dab this up. Okay, what? 3, 2, 1. Okay, I've dried this back. I'm going to throw a little more pink on there, just to pull some of that back to the front for me. Right in that center. There we go. I'm wanting some of that in the center. I used a blue tissue. I could have used white if I didn't want any of that blue to show through, but I knew this was going to be a little boy's tag, so I was okay with that. That actually might be, I gotta look up to the camera, that actually might be about where I want it. I might distress this just a little bit with some more Scorched Timber, but I think I'm gonna paint some of that on versus smush it on. I think my smushing is there. Let me grab my scrap and pick this up. Okay. Clean my surface. We're gonna dry this back. I'm gonna kind of set up here just a little bit of what I wanna do next. Once I dry this up, we're going to cut back to this. Okay, I've dried this back. I want to add a little bit more color in here, but I want to paint some on, get around the edges of all this stuff. Then we'll start kind of layering on what I want for other items on here. Okay, so I'm going to mix I want a little more peacock feathers of that original blue to come through, a little antique of this, and a little more yellowish green. So I'm just going to lay these down because I'm just going to brush these on. Okay, and I'm just kind of, you know, some of the videos I've seen out there of just by taking this and wetting this and brushing what you want in there. So I'm going to start with my peacock feathers, and I'm just going to start throwing this. I want to throw some of this in and around my hearts, because I just want some of this background to pop a little bit more around these hearts. And I'm just dipping in some water that I have in my little bowl here and brushing this in and around where I want it. And I've seen others do this as they use this to antique, like rusty hinge and things. I've got to probably get a couple more colors to do some rust. I don't have anything necessarily for rust. So I'm just kind of layering this up. This gesso, I am seeing it repel just a little bit. You can see the stripes coming through. and that's my gesso. So I think I'm going to try my next one without, just to see how these envelopes take on that color, because it is repelling it just slightly. But I just wanted to bring some of these colors forward a little bit from the layering. And I'll dry this back here before I start again. I'm trying to layer some of this where it's repelling. Alright, we'll dry this back a little before I add my little citron green. There's twisted citron, and I got a little bit more scorched timber. These are the distress inks, no oxides. I actually decided not to do the oxides. I wanted to keep some of this vibrancy. Try that just a little. Alright, we're going to take some of the citron, and I'm just not going to layer my scorched timber in there quite yet. Get some of this blue to pull back off of the tissue. I still wanted this to be kind of bright but antique-y for this, you know, these basically antique Valentines. I just thought, what a sweet little gift. I mean, first off, that my friend was like, do you want these for all your cards? She's like, you make such great cards. I think you can make such great cards with these. So she is definitely going to be getting a few of these to kind of keep as a little something something, right? These are from her dad, so from her dad's closet. I don't know, I don't think they were to my friend, but they were to him. Alright, let's get that a little dry. I'm going to start throwing some brown in here. Start pulling this in. I'm going to probably antique the edges of this a fair amount. Might pull a little orange into this brown. Just to give it a little. I don't have rusty hinge, so let's just see if right permission is going to work. Alright. Let's put a little bit of this into it just to see if I can get a little rusty. That actually works, actually. Just to give me a little rusty kind of feel. Oh yeah, that works out perfect, actually. It's like creating your own little rusty hinge on that one. Oh yeah. Get a little more water. I need this just to be a little bit more watery for me. I mean, look at that color down here. That's perfect. And it just, no rhyme or reason, just kind of where do I think rust would kind of accumulate, right? I'm going to get some water into this, and then I think I might let this run. Just a little bit, like get some drips going from it. Get it around some edges, and what I want this to do is just run a little bit and then dry this back. Yeah. That's what I want. I put just a little bit more up in those edges though. I want to keep it up in there. It really makes a difference. Like, I'll just call her out. I watched Tiffany Solario a fair amount, and she calls out, you've got to be patient, you've got to layer, and I felt like you're losing the effect by layering too much, but you're really not. You've got to be patient with it, and this is just telling of what you're going to get. But I can see the gesso affecting how this dries back. That's for sure. So I will probably try this again without the gesso. Probably some on the back, a little bit on the back. I can see how that reacted different. Yeah, this gesto's making a difference how this dries back, for sure. And it looks different to me than it is there a little bit, but it does make a difference. Alright, I think I might keep this about where I have it. I think I'm happy with this. I need just a tiny bit to balance this out, just a little bit up on top, up in here. Bring this back just a little bit. Yeah, just pull that light blue of the tissue back some. There we go. Okay, dry this. Let's start thinking about elements. So, with some of the stuff I bought, I think I am going to shred my shimmery web stuff, tooling, whatever it's called. I think I'm going to add a couple. I have these little hearts over here. I was going to ink smush these in and I didn't. I might add this one, my little sparkly one. And we'll add my little guy. And I think we're going to add, that heart. This heart I think I'm going to still add too. As elements, I'm gonna distress this one just a little bit with ink on the edges, just because that bright white. I don't want a ton of elements on here because he is so big, but I will stamp a little bit around on this too. But I got to get this good and dry because I am going to stamp just a little bit, not a ton. I need a little bit of something though in some of these bare spots, so just a little to add into that. So just make sure you've got your tag good and dry. Flipping over and over so that your moisture releases. It keeps it from curling. It will flatten back and forth as you dry. So just making sure you got that nice and flat. I may cover the back with like a, I think I have some Heart Designer Series paper. The one I had, that little pad, is all vellum, so okay, let's just take, I have grabbed some stamps that I thought would be kind of fun to throw on this, if they worked. I definitely want to get a sentiment on there, and I grabbed this sentiment. This is the Hi There Greetings by Kathy Zilke with Simon Says stamp. So I'm just going to throw this on blocks. Okay, this is not a misty situation. And I think we're going to do Love Ya right through there, or maybe Love Ya right, actually we're going to push that big Love Ya right in the middle. There's texture on there. It may not go all the way down to the paper. That's okay. I know that. Okay, never used these before. I just got them. We're going to prime these up a little bit. I'm going to use archival. And before I move, if anybody knows me, this is going to get smushed into something as my mess continues, right? Okay, ink this up. Whoop, ink that up good with my archival. And this is going to be just a one impression. I don't care how perfect it is, but we're going to go Love Ya right here. Push that down and up. Man, I'm digging this. I'm digging this. This is like my third, if you want to call it true time, true mixed media time, third or fourth doing something. Literally my second tag. And this is so fun. It is a not so perfect thing I'm learning, and you gotta be okay with that. I like this one. So these are just old stamps. These are some of the very first stamps I ever bought. Honestly, ooh, this little corner piece is perfect. I bought them off of Facebook Market. It was a lady whose mother had passed. She had all of her stuff and she was selling, so everything I bought from my first set of stuff was all close to my heart stuff, which is, as we know, is no longer in business. But I still use it. There's some great elements in the stuff I bought. So I'm going to throw this right here in this little corner, little frame. So these are old, close to my heart stuff. They've got a nice vintage feel on many of them. And now I'm going to just add a little texture of stuff mixed in here. Originally I was going to go for this little round, I'm going to go for this little round floral. Then we're going to grab these ones that have some texture design to them. So I'm going to go, oops, I'm scrunching this up here. I'm going to go for this little round floral on this one. On this side. So I'm going for this one. Put this up in once or twice in there. You can tell these are old, they've got a little stick to them. Let's just go right there. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to grab this background stamp that's, you can tell it's old. The stamping of it isn't the greatest anymore, but it's got great texture. And I've used this, I think, on both of my other things that I've done. I just need it, like I don't need that whole piece, we're just going to do a piece of it. So I'm just going to lay it, kind of roll this over on my pad here, or on my block. Okay? And we're going to do just a little bit of stamp off. I'm going to go up into this thing too, right there. Alright, I had this one. I don't think I want to use that. I feel like I might have enough. Let me just see, I had grabbed, that might be good. There was one more that I thought I'd grabbed, but I think we're going to leave it. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it because I've got these other elements to layer onto this. So, let me distress that heart, okay? I'm going to just set this stuff aside. I'm going to grab everything. I'm not going to use the vellum. I might use this. I'm not using this because I'm going to use this. So we're going to cut up a piece of this. Alright, let me just get a chunk of this off. And this is going to get shredded behind my guy. Okay. I want that. I want this. And where's my... I think we're going to use this. So, let's cover up this. I'm going to get out, I want my scorched timber, my walnut stain. Let me grab my pads here. Okay. Little walnut stain here first on this guy. I'm just going to kind of lightly get the edge and draw this one in just a little bit more to soften that white down. And then we'll grab those edges with some scorched timber. Antique this just a little bit. It's a little too new. Okay. And now let's grab some scorched timber. And then we'll kind of figure out our layout. Just like so. Get those edges just to darken up a tiny bit. Good. I'm good with that. Don't leave that little hump in there. That's okay. And I'm just going to draw this back just a tiny bit on that shimmer. Get those edges that are white. Okay. That and that. Now, where's my little guy? Let's just find my little guy. I actually might throw a little, I'm going to throw a little bit of lace in there too. That I want for sure. Definitely for sure. And I might put some lace mixed with that. Okay, here's my little guy. Alright. Throw him on there. Oh, he's just so cute. That's just so dang cute. So now, I think I might bring him off this way so that I can use those corners here, here, and here. But I might need him I'm going to have to go here, I think. I need a corner on the bottom to hold them, though. I'm going to go this way, actually, because I need a corner and a shoulders. I think will be plenty to hold. But where do I want to throw this stuff? This I felt would be good over top of that. Then this I thought would be cute tucked around here because of the heart below. So I feel like about there. Then I think I want to do lace up this way with some twine over it. Okay, so I'm going to lift this off, keeping this kind of simple, and I think we're going to draw this up on some dimensionals. Actually, I'm going to make sure that my edges are dark here. Yeah, those are already dark on the white pieces. Okay, and then I've got some cute leftover from a long time ago, some Love You ribbon. It's big, so we'll see if it'll work on this. If not, we'll use some of this twine and lace. Okay, so let's glue this down in the corner. I'm adding glue just to make sure that this sticks really good to the tissue. Okay, so we're going to throw this right up like so. Okay, this was right over in that area. I'm going to just glue this one straight down. Like so. Now I want a piece of this to go around. And I want enough to do a little tie. Okay. I want this to come up from the back and tie in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the back side now, and I'm just going to tack this down up here in the corners to hold that. And I'm going to cover this up with some designer series paper. Didn't plan on that, but we're going to add that in. I think that'll look much better. Okay. And all I'm going to do is tie this in a knot. Amy from Prairie Paper Ink, thank you so much for this little tip. The reverse tweezers holds those knots down for you until you get it tied. Like so. Okay. And then I just want to cut this. Not a bow, nothing. I'm just going to keep it raw. So I'm trying to keep some cleaner elements versus distressing all of this on top of that distress. Because I felt like this distressed little guy is my feature, right? Let me see, do I want to add that twine? This has got to be tucked this way, I think. Because now that's in my way. I'm going to take this off and bump this up, even though I've glued it. We're going to bump this up to the top for that knot. That way it's out of my way. I didn't plan that one very well. Okay. So hopefully this gives you guys some ideas, even though these are beautifully one-of-a-kind, pretty much antique Valentines. You could take and recycle any cards you get, birthday, Christmas cards, antiqueums, distress them. These were just so special that I had to do something really nice but fun, right? And we're just gonna take that down. Fray that edge and bring this guy like so. Okay, let's tack him down. I'm going to bring this right around his head, and I want this off kilter, like so. There we go. That works, actually. That works. So I'm going to take, I've got Craft picture corners. That's all they are. Alright, and I'm going to have to glue these, but I'm going to tack one here, so I'm using the inside to hold him in, and I'm going to use one here because my paper's going off on the other side. I'm going to take one here. Then I know this will fit on his shoulder, so we're going to use one on this shoulder, and hopefully this should hold him in enough. My goal is just to hold him in enough. And I'm not going to glue this to him, but we're going to glue this down to the card, or to the tag. Okay, so sorry, I got off camera. Here on his shoulder, and then here on these two corners, and we're gluing it down. Okay, glue this right like so. Tuck it because you want to make sure it's tight. Alright, and then get a good tack on this, and I'm trying to push this down into that lace so it glues to the back as well. Now, once this dries, this person can lift this up. This opens. They can take this off. But that way, they can reuse this, right? Let's just try. So lightly, because it's still probably wet. But look at that. That comes out nice and easy. And I want to add one last thing. Hence, I'm taking him out. I'm going to grab my splatter box. I need a little shimmer. And I want to use the spritz. And I think I have, let me see if I've got the, did I have picked raspberry, I thought? But lumberjack plaid. Let's see. I thought I'd taken it out. Here we go. Yeah, little picked raspberry spritz. Over the top. One last little shimmer shebang. Okay? That looks great. I think from the upper view this looks really cute. This looks... The vision I had, I just didn't want to take away too much from these. So, alright. Let's give her a little shimmer. Get a little bit on that ribbon. That heart. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Let me just dry that. These dry pretty quick, these shimmers. Dry this back, set him back on, and we're good to go. This is my first little Valentine's. We're going to do a couple little layouts of these. We're going to get some of these other designs, you know, of these vintage ones out. We're going to make some cards. So I think we're going to do some cards for these. I will go live here on Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We're going to get these vintage out and do a set of vintage cards, Valentine's cards. Same concept, not to ruin them, do the nice backgrounds, and make these so that they're probably removable. We're going to make a nice little set of cards here on Thursday. Same concept. I don't know if they're going to be this mixed media-ish, rustic, you know, we'll see what we come up with. So I'm going to tuck him back in here. Alright, get his shoulder in there. It's like dressing a little kid. Get his shoulder in there. That works perfect. Alright, let me just zoom in. Alright, Valentine's mixed media tag using real vintage, just precious little guys. So here is the first one for you, and let's go up to my face cam so you guys can see this from face forward. We'll remove that out of our way, and it focused. There you go. Isn't he adorable? Isn't he absolutely adorable? So there you go, our mixed media vintage Valentine's tag. You know what we got to do? One last thing. Let's just see if I can get this ribbon to fit in this. Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me grab some ribbon. Hang tight. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I got some ribbon. We're going to go back down. I actually found a thinner ribbon. I've got a really thick ribbon too, but this thin ribbon works perfectly. So let's just thread this through. I'm going to have to re-glue down my flower here, or my heart here in the corner, but that's okay. Zoom out. Alright, thread this through. There we go. Just a nice little simple knot. Like so. Trim and trim. There we have it. That is it. So there's our final tag. Thank you so much everyone for hanging with me. Appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Please comment. What do you think? Worth doing? Worth saving these little things and now giving some of these back to my friend as a little keepsake? Or she can use them as she wants and give them away as gifts. This might be cute to give one to each family. Tag on a gift maybe for Valentine's or something. So thanks for hanging with me. And until next time, I'll see you then.